What's up, Hcmc Army and Moneymakers? Welcome back to the channel. Many of you asked me what's going on with Hcmc and do a review and analysis of the latest Hcmc stock price. So here I am sharing all this information. I'll be talking about what is that keeping the Hcmc price point strong, as you see right now, 0.0003, 20% up in today's market session. Take a look. Nasdaq is down 2.5%, Dow Jones is down 1.5%, S&P is down 1.90%, the crypto is down as well. Then what's going on with Hcmc? So we'll talk about the lawsuit and what's going on with the lawsuit, as well as with what you should consider in terms of the Hcmc's price point. What are the catalysts? What you should keep an eye out. Many of you are still holding Hcmc pretty strong, and I wanted to really let you know that we can see some silver lining in terms of the price point for Hcmc and in terms of the catalyst based on what we see in terms of the update. So let's get into it. Before that, I just wanted to say I'm not a financial advisor, so hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Do not forget to turn on the notification bell. I've been talking about a ton of penny stocks, OTC stocks, and also some of the crypto, and we have been doing pretty good in 2021. We are up to bigger and better things in 2022, so don't miss out on anything. Hit that like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Now, if you take a look at Hcmc, the volume is not that high, 147 million in today's trading session. Now, average volume for Hcmc is 553 million, which is quite honestly nothing, half a billion. We have seen volume for Hcmc as high as 40 billion when there was a ton of momentum into the stock, into the short squeeze, so on and so forth. Now, what we see at the moment, we have done pretty well. We were at the 1 level and we got back all the way to 3 levels. So take a look, December 28th, at the end of last year in 2021, we were at 1 and 2 level. We spiked up to 3 level and we sustained there. Right now, there is no huge volume. Now, in terms of what's going on with Hcmc, you want to see this pacer monitor. Take a look. There is an update on the lawsuit Healthier Choices Management Corp versus Phillip Morris. So that's the same pacer monitor that we have been looking into. On January 3rd, we also talked about some of these updates, but on 4th and 5th, the update is approval by the clerk office for the application for admission of this particular individual who is an attorney or part of the attorney team or the legal team that is going to be appearing on behalf of Phillip Morris. Now, what that means is there is momentum that happened just the first week of 2022 into the lawsuit. As you remember, there was an appeal filed by Hcmc. Take a look. Hcmc announces the filing of appeal to ruling in case against Phillip Morris, and that happened on 14th of December. Now, on 14th of December, their CEO also mentioned that we'll continue to vigorously pursue our case through the appellate process as we believe the facts and controlling law support our position. And the first week of January, we are hearing that notice by Phillip Morris, a certificate of consent of withdrawal of this particular personnel, and then there is a consent of another withdrawal as well, and someone is appearing from their legal team on the next step beginning of 2022. So there is some momentum. That's what I wanted to get into. I do not really want to jump too much into the lawsuit just yet, but our catalyst remains the same. So there are two paths between Hcmc and Phillip Morris. One, you already know that the lawsuit that was filed on November 2020, which was dismissed, and the judge announced or advised the clerk to close the case, and then Hcmc went ahead to the appellate process, as we already know, mid-December. So that's the lawsuit. Appeal happened in December 2021. We do not really know what is the next step up until we hear back from the legal team from Hcmc and or Phillip Morris, or maybe on pacer monitor. The final verdict or outcome, we do not have a final timeline just yet. The second thing that you want to notice is the PTAB application inter partes review that happened in June 2021. The review was instituted December 2021. So right now we're looking to figure out what's going to happen to this particular patent that Hcmc is suing Phillip Morris for. Now, Phillip Morris has multi-billion-dollar business. They spent more than $3 billion into the IQOS system. They have millions of users on a daily basis. So they're going to try to do anything and everything impossible in their control. So the review is instituted, which is going to take about 1 year or sooner in some cases, the way the patent courts are working and whatever I research in my analysis, but it can take up to 1 year. There could be possible that there will be 6 months extension given on legit use cases or business cases or so on and so forth. The final outcome timeline we don't know, but the catalysts are still the same, because let's say if that goes through, this lawsuit, appellate court decides that they want to put that case on trial and they want to do the discovery on the case, there will be once again, the whole catalyst will revive. Hcmc will be into the same place that it was in the past. So I still believe strongly into this catalyst happening. So you want to keep an eye out on that. Now, the second thing that you also want to notice is that Hcmc is also working on acquisition and trying to make sure what they can do in the interim. Now, if you are thinking about what's the volume and what's going on, if you think about the volume, our volume remains consistently below a billion shares traded during the trading session. So take a look, 600, 600, 550, 400, 327. But the short volume ratio is also going down and down, which means regardless of the price went up. Take a look, we are at 3. We are looking between 2 and 3, or rather 2.5 and 3, and we touch 2 and 3, and there are so many swing traders, in my opinion, are trading and taking the advantage of the situation, which is once again a great thing. But take a look, our short volume ratio sustains below 30 or mid 30, which is once again a great thing. We saw even with 3.5 billion volume, our short volume ratio was 29.13, 21.13 when we had 1.3 billion of total volume. Our short volume did not really go through the roof. It was 300 million. So what you want to consider is this is not really a short seller's topic at the moment, because I believe they have a ton of other things to play with. Now, the year-end notice that we got, or year-end letter that we got from their from their CEO, we confirmed that they are still focused on growing the revenue. Now, when they grow the revenue, this company is making between $3 to $4 million in revenue quarter over quarter, and they sustain pretty well. One thing that I would like to see for this particular company is to improve their net income. Right now, their operational overheads are pretty high. The company is super focused on EBITDA as well, so they want to reduce their operational overhead and the cost. But if you take a look, they were profitable in June 2021, the quarter ending, $180,000 more or less, but they showed the net income of negative 1.05 million. I think that has something to do with the lawsuit that is going on as well, but we do not really have a breakdown. Now take a look, in March we did negative $700,000, and that also involves some of the lawsuit and lawsuit related legal fees, so on and so forth. December last year we saw close to negative $911,000, as well September negative 1.3 million, but our revenue was pretty strong, 3.35. Take a look, 3.323 million in June, 3.39 million, and the latest quarter in Q3, Hcmc did 3.27 million. So the revenue is healthy. In my opinion, their balance sheet is healthy as well. Take a look, if you see this cash and cash equivalent, the company has $28 million cash on hand with the 2.3 million current asset. What I'm looking forward to is Q4 and 2021 entire result, because that can give us a ton of information around where the company is heading and what they're exactly trying to do. Yes, they want to improve their revenue. At the same time, they want to build their IP property portfolio as well. And we have seen the evidence that the company recently had the bulb technology vaping cartridge, where the IP or the patent was issued in July, so mid 2021. So the company is focusing on what they're talking about, so that's a great thing. The third thing that you want to also remember is to increase the profitability, which ties up with two things. One is the revenue, but the second and the most important thing is their operational overhead and the cost. So you want to remember that as well. With their healthy balance sheet, in my opinion, the company will invest more and more in acquisition, smaller acquisition, because once again, it's not a huge cash or the pile of cash that they have at the moment. But with the negative net income that we are seeing, about $1 million a quarter, it's not going to drag company into any financial troubles, in my opinion. the company started focusing a ton more on acquisitions. Take a look, EIR Hydration, the IV therapy center acquisition. Before that, they started the tie-up with ATG Pharma, the six-pack solution, to grow themselves in Canadian market. Right before that, they also had a tie-up with the Nui brand for their pre-fill Q-Cup patented technology to expand and grow into the Colorado market, so on and so forth. So the company is focused on bringing more money home, and at the same time, we have the catalysts that are a little bit challenging looking at the moment, but you want to focus on definitely the catalysts are a great thing. If that happens, the stock price can skyrocket, but at the same time, if the company does well, bring in more revenue, operational overheads go down, and that way their profitability and income get back into the positive hundreds of thousands of dollars, that can trigger the long-term value, added value for the shareholder. So far, what we have seen is Hcmc has a very strong community. We have seen in the past that they had more than 400,000 shareholders, and also they closed their expiration of their rights offering, and they raised $27 million. So they had a strong community behind it, and they were able to offer the rights to their existing shareholders, which were 27 billion shares of common stocks. In preliminary estimate, the company raised gross proceeds approximately $27 million in offering. The results of offering and Hcmc estimate regarding the aggregated gross proceeds at the price of 0.0010, which was the 5-day VWAP price that we have seen. So take a look right here, the subscription period for its previously announced, and this was announced in June 2021, that the share price, the actual subscription for the price was 0.0010 per share, which represents 25% discount. So they gave the discounted price. Now, if you take a look at the 3 price point at the moment, from 3 price point or 2.5 price point, we're looking at 4 times return before we can hit that particular rights offering. So here is the summary as to what's going on with Hcmc at the moment. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel. I hope you like this video. I'll keep making sure that I share these updates with you, and keep asking if you have any questions into the comment section below. I'm happy to share more information with you. Like, share, and subscribe. Happy investing, and hope you have a great week.